Instructor, Lieutenant Colonel James Hall.
Thank you for joining us this morning. 17 years ago today, the most deadly terrorist attack in history occurred on American soil. 19 terrorists boarded 4 passenger jets and took control of the planes from the pilots using box cutters and knives. The terrorists turned those planes full of people into weapons, flying 2 of them into the World Trade Center and 1 into the Pentagon. The 4th plane crashed into a field when the passengers and the crew attempted to retake it. Today, we pause from our busy schedules to honor those whose lives were tragically lost. During these attacks, 2,996 people lost their lives and over 6,000 were wounded. The great majority of those who died, 84%, were civilians, including dozens of ethnicities and religions. America is the great melting pot of cultures, and Americans from all across that melting pot died in those attacks. Few of the high schoolers here today were alive when these historically tragic events took place. All of us, however, enjoy the freedoms of the American way of life, which was attacked on that day. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to believe as you choose to, and to live your life as you see fit. The terrorists who attacked us on that day hate those things. And the fact that our freedoms remain strong and vibrant in the United States stands as testament to the fact that those terrorists failed to achieve their goals. September 11th, 2001 was a day of great sadness, but it was also a day of courage and resolve. That courage was immortalized by the images of the first responders rushing into the World Trade Center, ultimately to their deaths. 343 firefighters died while responding to those attacks. And today, from Station 8 of the Topeka Fire Department, we have Bruce Andrus, Jonathan Harmison, and Ronnie Sellers here honoring those firemen who gave their lives. 71 law enforcement officers died in the Twin Towers and on the ground in New York City that day. Officers Donnie Kennedy and Jack Reynolds of the Topeka Public Schools Police Department are here today honoring those selfless first responders. That courage was seen in the 55 military personnel who died in the attack on the Pentagon. Topeka West Junior ROTC honors those heroes today. That courage was dramatically expressed by the passengers and the crew members aboard Flight 93 who learned of the attacks in New York and Washington from friends and family and mounted an attempt to retake the plane. In response, the terrorists purposely crashed Flight 93 into a field, ending the lives of those on board, but saving the lives of those at the intended target for that aircraft. Flight 93 illustrates perfectly the courage and resolve of the American people. The way that the terrorists attacked us that day, turning large passenger jets into weapons, was unprecedented. No nation had ever been attacked in that way before. But less than 2 hours after the first plane hit the North Tower, a group of unarmed Americans, along with a few guests from other countries, adapted to this mode of attack and defeated it. On military installations, a bugler plays taps to signal the close of a day. It has become traditional in military memorial ceremonies to play taps as a way of mourning the fallen and honoring their memory. It is fitting that we conclude our ceremony this morning with taps. As we listen solemnly to these 24 notes, and throughout the rest of the day, I ask you to hold in mind the sacrifice of those who paid the ultimate price when our country was attacked that day. In accordance with protocol, veterans should come to a position of attention and salute, and civilians should stand, remove their hats, and place their right hand over their heart as the bugle plays.